Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your daily dust for Wednesday, January 17th. If you're watching, oh my gosh, it's the 17th already. Wow. If you're watching in real time, but it can also be for whenever you stumble upon it. It's also a timeless reading, so it doesn't have to be January 17th. It can be whenever you see this and you feel guided to it. Let the messages speak to you. This is going to be a 3-card collective message from the Moonchild Tarot, which one of my favorites, by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. You are the dance of light and shadow. I got that message today as well. So I'm going to give it a good shuffle and then choose 3 cards. A little bit dusty there. Alright, 3 cards from the middle. We have the Queen of Cups. That's me. And the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. And 10 of Wands. Okay, interesting, interesting. Alright, let's zoom in and see what we get. Looking at the 10 of Wands suddenly got me thinking about that almost all the planets are in Capricorn right now. We still have Capricorn Sun. We have a lot of the planets transiting Capricorn. And Capricorn is a good sign. It's a stoic, solid, bountiful energy, but it's also the sign of hard work. And so to me, it just feels like a day that will take a lot of processing and work to get to the final completion of the day. But 10 of Wands is nothing to be afraid of, because 10 of Wands is just sticking to something, but it promises that you will see it through. You know, it promises that you will make it. No matter what, there is that final push to the final outcome. So the Queen of Cups is a gentle soul, kind and loving and giving and creative and imaginative and also intuitive. She's framed within shimmering waters. The Queen of Cups aligns with the divine principle of love. Her adorned roses represent the unfolding petals of higher consciousness, the beauty of the goddess, the mystic rose of Mary, and a symbol of the Holy Grail, the mysterious chalice that reflects the enduring power of love, which is also seen in this suit. She's all about the mystic, the healer, sacred beauty, a sacred heart, and beauty and intuition. And she channels and creates from intuitive realms and is deeply in tune with the wisdom of her heart. This type is a very sensitive, nurturing individual who's always in sync with the needs of others, with a warm and tender personality that makes you feel at home from the moment you meet them. So they give advice freely and unconditionally and always with love. That's why the Queen of Cups is me. Well, whenever you decide to read tarot or be a recipient of a tarot reading, and one of my very first tarot readings, the first thing I learned was to help a person find their significator card. So the significator card represents the card that signifies you, and usually you choose from the court cards to do that. The kings, the queens, and the knights and the pages. A lot of times you can if you feel you can always move to the major arcana and choose one of those cards if you want to. But for beginner people and beginning tarot, it's just more typical to start off with the the court cards. So when I started as well, when I was reading for myself and others were reading for me, I always chose the Queen of Cups because she represents water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for one, but just also the description of her matched me the most of all the queens. There is the Queen of Wands I am attracted to because she often appears with a black cat, and I have my black cat right here in my arms. She is the queen of passion and fire and expression and everything, but to me the Queen of Cups will always be the one that I associate with most, and some of you out there may as well. So whether you're a water sign or not, it doesn't matter. If you feel like you embody these sensitivities of the water queen, then you can use her to see yourself as. But this can also be somebody that you're connecting with, a really kind person that you're connecting with. She's somebody that's going to encourage you to connect with your spirit, to explore the metaphysical and the healing arts in your own self-care practices. And also, she'll help you cultivate new visions and allow you to see beyond the structure of the world into like the inner dimensions and mysticism and intuition and the past lifetimes, all the stuff that I'm helping you guys do every day. So definitely still resonates the Queen of Cups with my way of being and thinking and doing. The Wheel of Fortune is really awesome. The Wheel of Fortune is just plain good luck. The ancient symbolism of the Wheel of Fortune evokes deep shifts in consciousness through the cycles of change. The creatures depicted are said to symbolize the main dividing signs of the zodiac wheel. So we have, we have the 4 fixed signs. We have Leo, Sagittarius, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus as the fixed signs. Here in this image, we have some, it looks like a ram and the Sphinx, but this is the signs of the zodiac wheel. Just talk about the metamorphosis of the astrological ages and the passing of about approximately every 2,160 years, ushering in a constant flux of transition and enlightenment for the following age to come. So we're like approaching the age of Aquarius, or we could already be in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius is all about unpredictability and going beyond the norm and reaching new places, and sometimes being a bit uncomfortable because of that, The age of Pisces was more of the mystical and a bit more familiar, but now we're dealing with a lot more unfamiliar grounds. But anyway, back to the Wheel of Fortune. It illuminates the ever-shifting highs and lows that lead us through our dance with life. This energy comes with a sensation of inevitable fate or potential opportunity, depending on how you look at it. It prompts us to consider the underlying patterns that repeatedly emerge over time in how we choose to respond to the circumstances we're faced with. I'm getting, I'm getting kind of merry-go-round energy. Sometimes we go round and round and round, and we keep trying to, it's that definition of insanity, trying to come out with a solution by doing the same thing. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something new, well, that's just plain crazy. I mean, I know sometimes it makes sense if you did something and they're like, hey, maybe I put a number 8 instead of a number 9. So you try again and you dial the same thing, and then you put a number 9. It still doesn't work, and then you try something else, like combinations of things that, but as long as you're trying to change something that you did the time before, then that makes sense. But if you keep just punching in the same number over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result, well, that's just not going to work. There's something that you're missing here that you didn't see. So that's kind of the wheel energy a little bit. It also indicates that talks about habits that we break through and the karmic lessons that we learn after you know, many lifetimes of maybe having to revisit some of these same things. And these cycles, and they're great, very transformational. That energy moves through the wheel and allows us to work with our shadows so we can appreciate and build upon the precious moments that make it all worthwhile. Without the challenges and lessons, the beauty around us would seem less brilliant and alive anyway, right? So how can we live in this gift, in this present moment, and take it all in stride? The Wheel of Fortune is all about fate and destiny and karma and silver linings and you know, wins. You know, it definitely can be about winning something and having a fortunate outcome in some situation. And I think that that's good with the Ten of Wands. But remember now, fortunate outcomes in this case is not going to be just a simple matter of putting, you know, what's kind of interesting. Now I just suddenly thought of this. My dad would play the lottery, and he would read ways on winning the lottery. And he said the people that won the lottery were usually people who played the same number over and over again. So now I'm debunking my own theory about doing the same thing twice and expecting a different outcome. Well, there's one case where that might be wrong. If you keep playing those same numbers over and over and over and over and over again, then eventually it could hit, right? That's possible. But anyway, where was I? Ten of Wands. So yeah, the combination between luck and work is important here. It's not just about sitting back and expecting to get lucky. It's about doing the work and also getting lucky. The Ten of Wands reflects our sense of being overburdened by responsibilities. And when we find ourselves overworked or somehow out of balance, this card also can indicate an emotional attachment or experience that you're still harboring, which is depleting your energy and distracting you from fully receiving the positive blessings in your life. Your initial aspirations or dream may also seem faded from your present situation if you're losing your creative momentum or drive. Now might be a good time to accept help from others and prioritize what is truly necessary. How are you gaining wisdom from your actions? What can you remove or cut out in order to reduce some of the pressure on yourself? So the Ten of Wands speaks to being burdened, and then it could be a pride thing, like, well, I'm going to do this all by myself. You know, I don't need your help. And it could be like you're realizing, dang, this is a lot of work. I'm going to see if I can get other people to help me. Or if you're a CEO type or the boss of a company and say, okay, I'm going to delegate this to different people. Or maybe you're just new at being a leader and realizing that leaders do need to give people responsibilities, and they can't take it all by themselves all the time, you know. So it's definitely about burdens, but balance, sometimes being overwhelmed, sometimes just releasing, you know, the burden. But most of the times I feel it's reaching your goals. Eventually you're reaching your goals. A lot of times I've read this card is called the final push. And it makes me think of labor too, like a woman who goes through labor. There's a lot of, you know, there's pain and there's time. It takes time, and there's different cycles of breathing and things, and then finally you have the final push, and then you're able to push your baby out. And if everything goes traditionally the way it's supposed to. In my case, I had a C-section, so I didn't get to do that part, but I got almost to that part. So the thing about that final push, well, the process is, I often see Ten of Wands, you know, sometimes with a person carrying kids on their shoulders. It's a burden, but a pleasure. This is your job and your duty, but you signed up for it. This is what you want to do, and you know you're supposed to do it, and you're glad to do it. sometimes you just need that extra help, and sometimes sometimes it feels like, am I going to get to the end? Are you going to make it there? And you will. You always do. You make it there. It's just like having the baby in the first place. The baby, I know that there's not always 100% positive cases, but generally speaking, it is a happy occasion, and your baby makes you feel like it was worth all the trouble, because it's a joyful experience. And so that's kind of this energy here, this having gone through so much, but there's a joyful experience about to be had. So in the picture, you see a young woman standing to rest at the crest of a desert mountain. The appearance of two moons depicts the cycle of time that persists and shifts. Perched at the woman's back are 10 tall wands, representations of the attached burdens that she must carry with her. In this space, she is unable to move on until she has dealt with these lingering energies. And a lot of times you'll see the 10 of Wands as somebody carrying wands on their back up a hill and like having to rest for a second. It's kind of, sometimes it's the second wind, and then you can keep going in the final push through. Sometimes I see the 9 of Wands more of the second winds card, because the 9 of Wands is like setting it down, looking at where you've been and how long you've been doing something, and giving yourself a chance to catch your breath so you can keep going. The 10 of Wands to me is like that last leg of the race, of the marathon. You can do it. You can cross the finish line. And so I feel like you can do it. You have a stick-to-itiveness that not very many people have. This Wheel of Fortune also, accompanying the fixed signs of the zodiac, makes me feel like that fixed energy, that drive, that determination, that stubbornness does help you so much get you through to the end, and you will make it, and you will achieve what you need to achieve. You will achieve your goals. This is about getting to your goals. It just is a lot of hard work this time. It's just not as, it wasn't just as smooth as sometimes it can be, but it feels sometimes a little bit more worth it. The things that you learned on this journey and through this cycle that you went through. So I know that was a long reading, but sometimes some days are like really profound and other days are just more mundane. This felt very profound, just big, with this big Wheel of Fortune in the middle. It's such a karmic card, and it's such a strong energy from the universe. So I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.